For the fish? Thank you. I just want the fish.
I need him biblically. I need him in a way that is concerning to feminism. Okay?
Yeah, the only reason I know anything about this game is cause Cutie Lights was playing it. Get married to a fish? I don't want to get married to a fish. That's too much for me. Fish person, really. Wait, like Shape of Water? A super sexy fish man? Is it like... I have a friend who thinks the fish guy from Breath of the Wild is really sexy. Is it like that kind of vibe? Or is it... that might be the achievement name? Shape of Water? Really? Ew! I mean, I haven't seen that movie, so not ew. But Our Love Was Pure. I haven't seen the movie. I have no room. A fishy wedding. Your Majesty, the Archduke of Saul has invited you to his upcoming wedding. Your attendance would help shore up relations between the two great nations. Depths below, great nation, the Isle of Saul is nothing more than a nest of pirates and cutthroats. And I heard it isn't a proper marriage anyway. The Archduke is marrying a fish. The groom is a finfolk, one of the denizens of the sea, perfectly sapient and actually amphibious. Well, the church doesn't agree with a man marrying a fish. We mustn't legitimize this farce by allowing the monarch to attend. How do I do this so I can marry the fish? Get married to a fish? I don't want to get married to a fish. That's too much for me. This is tough. I could attend the wedding. It's definitely... well, it doesn't matter what I want anyway. But I have to vote. Oh, fuck. I'll make sure it happens. Okay. Then of course I should attend the wedding. So I'm supposed to steal the groom at their own wedding? Oh, this is a big task even for me. Excellent. The wedding is scheduled for next year. I'll inform the Archduke that you should be delighted to attend. The kingdom is sliding into madness. The guy was marrying the fish for other external reasons as well. Okay, see, but I'm marrying for love. Fishy love. When it's announced that you are to attend the wedding, the patricians are naturally scandalized. You're no fun, High Inquisitor. But the peasants, sentimental as ever, are in favor of the decision. Public opinion turns against the overly strict church. Okay, so let's find a spouse. What gender is the fish? What should I say? What do I say to achieve fish? Fish is male? Nice. Excellent. Fish is a dude, but it's separate, I think. Oh, so I shouldn't marry any of these people. Okay. I'll send out and we'll see what they have to offer. Okay. Okay. We'll keep an eye out. I'm not marrying anyone unless it's the fish. Your August Majesty, your esteemed Highness, something most strange has occurred in the Ghost Sea. A new island has arisen halfway between our shores and the Isle of Saul. The Finfolk raised it from the depths using their weird ocean magic. It's true, Your Majesty. The Finfolk raised the island to celebrate the marriage of their prince to the Archduke of Saul. They will gift it to him on the day of the ceremony. Yeah, you're right. I did. I was won so easily. I haven't even seen them. I haven't even seen him. This is terrible news. That island is of immense strategic importance. We can't let it fall into Saul's hands. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Here it is! Yes! This is the most important thing. It's fine if I lose. As long as I marry this fish. Thank you guys for supporting me in this dream that I have had for about 10 minutes. I'll try to be very charming with fish. Capital idea. Fish arc, fish arc. Just don't be too upfront. Okay, I can do that. I have always found the Finfolk appealing. A silence falls over the council. The nobles glance at each other, coughing and adjusting their collars. Well, you're unattached, and you'd make a far better match for this Finfolk prince than the Archduke of some rainy little island. What's the harm? I'll seduce this sexy fisherman. We admire your sacrifice, your serene highness. Preparations begin for your class-signed visit to one of the Finfolk's undersea villages. Your chancellor has heard of magic reeds that allow the bearer to breathe underwater, but such a thing will take weeks to track down. At least that gives you time to prepare for your underwater visit and to buy some waterproof roses. I'm just getting ready to seduce a fishy man. As God intended. Oh, hell yes. Visiting the Finn folk, visiting the Finn folk, visiting the Finn folk. The Finn folk send a stagecoach made from a giant clam, pulled by seahorses. You equip your magic breathing reed and hop inside. The clam carriage plunges back beneath the waves. You are whisked down into the murky depths. A few hours later, you arrive at an undersea citadel of kelp-woven huts. Don't come on too strong. Okay. Don't come on too strong. Don't let him know that I'm also wet. Okay. Okay. Their prince meets you at a grand table formed of knotted coral. Tiny finfolk spawnlings swim around your legs as you sit. Greetings, your majesty. We're honored to have such a prestigious visitor. Shit. Let's get down to business. Of course, we must be swift. I know those magic reeds only provide a certain amount of air. The Chancellor didn't mention anything like that. You try not to let your panic show. So you're here to discuss my betrothal to Archduke Shomo and the island I'm giving him as a dowry. Oh my god, not Awuga. Awuga's bad. Oh shit. What if I blow this? Oh, shit. I'm leaning towards, may I ask why you'd have to give him a dowry? Sorry, am I being polite? Okay, that's a good... Okay, first of all, I must offer my congratulations. Thank you. Unlike most of my kind, I believe that Finn folk and surface folk must get along.
More like fine folk, am I right? Awuga.
Awuga. This wedding is the first step in that process. Shit. It's like real life courtship. I'm not very good at that either. Wait, now you can ask me about the dowry. Okay. Well, it's a very small island. The Archduke assured me it wasn't worth very much. After all, you surface folk have so much land already. The island's worth a huge amount to us. Enough to make my marshal concerned. So it's definitely one of these. But I don't want it to come off as threatening. So probably it's worth a huge amount. Diplomatic. Oh, really? How interesting. The Archduke told me differently. This is also the most stressful I've ever been. Okay, I think now I could say this war could cause, this new island could cause. Yes. A war? Really? I can't risk that. Seems my betrothed has misled me about the importance of this island. Such deceit. He's not the man I thought him to be. I'll have to call off the wedding. Thank you for clarifying things for me, Your Majesty. Okay. And now here is the moment. Stay a while. The Finfolk Prince offers you a bitter seaweed beer, which you imbibe through a complex underwater drinking mechanism. For hours, you and he swap stories and commiserate over the hardships of royalty. As the night draws on, you find yourself and the prince growing closer and closer. A touch on the knee? A stroke of the gills? Could you take things further? I'm gonna fuck the fish. You spend? Seize the fish! You spend the pleasurable night with the Finfolk Prince atop a bed of woven kelp. It'll be a night you remember for a long time, but it's over far too quickly. When you drop to one knee, the Finfolk Prince makes a startled noise. It sounds like a frog throwing up a set of bagpipes. You cannot be serious. This is so fast. You don't even know my name. My name is Glorb. I would only just decided to end my betrothal to the Archduke. You'd have me move on so quickly? We're destined to be together. But what about your vindictive nobles and your hidebound priests? Your kingdom is less accepting of my kind than the Isle of Psalm. They are invited to kiss the royal behind. Ha! With a gentle smile, Glorb grabs you by the hand. Yes, 1,000 times yes! In fact, wait, let's get married right now. We can formalize things in your cathedral later, but how many of your kind can boast about having an underwater wedding? The prince rushes about the village, organizing an impromptu ceremony. Before you know it, you're swimming down the aisle, a manta ray draped around your shoulders like a cloak. Do you take me as your husband? I fucking do. Glurb draws you in a passionate kiss. The way watching villagers cheer, filling the choral church with bubbles. Yeah, alright, and stream over. I won, guys. It was nice playing, though. Thank you. And so we are married in the eyes of the deep lord. I suppose we must journey to the surface and marry in the eyes of your ninth god as well. I'm so looking forward to meeting your courtiers. Oh dear, I hope they will come to accept me as one of their own. Hey, now I don't care if the east wins or not. This is a true victory. Yes, achievement get happiness. Yes, I'm very happy. Next day, after a wonderful wedding night, you and your new husband travel back to the surface in a clamshell carriage. So how did it? Oh, ninth above. You brought the Finn folk prince back with you? The Chancellor turns a faint shade of red at the sight of your handsome, glistening husband. Indeed, good Chancellor, and we are married now. Ahem, I see. It's lame that I couldn't get that hairstyle. Silly. Well, may I be the first to congratulate you, your majesty, but the church will not be happy when they find out. On the verge of rebellion. Yikes. You stare out over the assembled faces of your nobles. You have a big announcement for them, and you're not sure how they'll take it. Badly, you expect. You clear your throat. Your servants blow trumpets to signal the Finfolk prince's arrival. He steps out beside you, his feet slapping on the marble, and waves awkwardly. I will do my best to bring our peoples together. For too long, land and sea have failed to understand each other. A collective gasp ripples through the ranks of the nobles. Someone faints. One of the patricians spits out a mouthful of wine. Glurb is the best. Depths below, the monarch has married a fish! Someone fetch the archbishop. By the ninth, you married Finfolk over one of our eligible candidates? At least you found a match with royal blood. Da, da, da. Can't you all be normal for a change? We less than 3, you glurb. Yes, for sure. News of our Finfolk husbands spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom. It's not long before an outraged archbishop is petitioning the council. Your Majesty, this undersea wedding is not legitimate. Finfolk traditions have no authority in this kingdom. And I will not allow your fishy friend to step a single web foot into St. Bertrand's Cathedral. Just because I don't necessarily trust you guys. Hell yeah. Me and this fish were meant to be. Glorbo. Your wedding to the Finfolk prince is naturally at the talk of the kingdom. Commoners travel from every corner of the realm to attend. For a week and a day, the capital is one giant party. Many nobles refuse to attend the event. Even now, they're still furious that you're marrying a Finfolk. On the day of the ceremony, the streets are packed, but St. Bertrand's Cathedral is nearly empty. When you walk down the aisle to see Glorb waiting by the altar, nothing else matters. Ugh. Do you take this fish as your lawfully wedded husband? I object. You'd recognize that figure anywhere. It's Archduke Shumo, the man who had been betrothed to the Finfolk prince until you swooped in. You stole my husband! Snake! Fiend! I want my island! The Archduke is swiftly bundled away by security, but you suspect that's not the last you've heard of him. You turn your attention back to the Archbishop, who is rolling his eyes. I do. The shape of water. Hell yeah! He was only in it for the island, not for the love of the fish. I pronounce you married in the eyes of the kingdom. Now get out of here. You're greeted outside the cathedral by a huge cheering crowd. The nobles in the church may not like it, but the common folk adore your new Finfolk husband. They like me. They really like me. You and your husband head back to the palace, where you celebrate long into the night. It's hours before the two of you have any time alone. Surface customs are so fascinating. I was particularly impressed by your land horses. Glorb would commit war crimes for you, Sam. Archbishop isn't homophobic, but he is fish phobic. Yeah, it seems like. And we don't tolerate that crap. So what now? I can't stay above water for more than a week, and my people still need a leader. You mean you'll leave soon? I'm sorry, but I promise I'll be back as often as I can. Let's hope your nobles will get used to my presence. They'll quickly realize how amazing you are. Oh, you flattered me. You never knew a Finfolk could blush like that. No time like the present. Come here, my darling spouse. You didn't get much sleep. Ah! The church condemns you, but the peasants are on your side for once. Across the kingdom, more and more ordinary people are striking up relationships with Finfolk and getting married in the shallows. The improved relations between the sea and shore are particularly beneficial for the coast, where Finfolk happily herd fish in coastal nets.
Love wins.
Hell yeah! Palm, I have a surprise for you. Close your eyes. Close my eyes. When you open again, you're looking at a map. There's a new dot in the middle of the Ghost Sea. I've raised a new island for you. Call it a wedding present. When you announce the good news, the marshal is ecstatic. You and your nobles are grudgingly impressed. Let's see what the council wants to do with this new island. Oh, well, that's a shame. I suppose I'll ask my warlocks to sink it back under the sea. It seems your nobles are still offended by your choice of husband. You watch glumly from a boat as your beautiful new island slips back beneath the waves. Guys, what the fuck? You made my hubby sad. One bright morning, you're taking a stroll in the palace gardens, arm in arm with your beloved husband. And with the help of my Finfolk villagers, we can build underwater roads which open up trade between. Glorp is interrupted when a black-clad figure wielding a crossbow pops out of the mulberry bush and takes careful aim at his heart. Time seems slow. One of your eastern knights rushes forward and dives in front of your husband. The bolt strikes her in their stomach, sending her crashing to the floor. The rest of your honor guard rush forward and chop the would-be assassin to pieces. By the depths, my life flashed before my eyes. Your Majesty, are you all right? How's the king consort? Thank the ninth god. A physician is on their way. While we wait, let me examine the assassin's body. See the squid tattoo on the side of her face? That's the mark of the blue octopus, an assassin's guild from Saul. It seems Archduke Shumo is still annoyed that you stole his husband. Evidently, the Archduke has decided if he can't have me, no one can. I mean, personally, I think we should hire a counter-assassin. We must rid the world of his bad attitude. Your Majesty, I have sought out the services of a child of the Viper. They are far more effective than the blue octopus's amateurs from the Isles of Saul. Rest assured, Your Majesty, 2 weeks from today, the Archduke will be dead. The assassin is as good as her word. In a fortnight, Archduke Shumo is found unresponsive in his bed, apparently having died of a heart attack. There is no sign of a struggle. No one officially accuses you, but rumors swirl. The nobles mutter their complaints much more quietly now. And more importantly, no one messes no one messes with your husband. Another dawn breaks. The great army of the March sprawls outside your city walls. For the last 3 weeks, they have tried to fight their way in. The siege drags on. Your food supplies are dwindling. The streets outside your palace explode in daily riots as the citizens demand to be fed. Don't worry, Palm. The ninth god will look out for us. I'm sure of it. Not only are you killing me, you're also killing my gorgeous fish husband. As evening draws in, the horns blast outside the city walls. The barons are mounting a final attack. Literally, the barons had to do nothing for this win. Nothing! The sun rises on a city in turmoil. The barons began their assault last night, and since then you've heard nothing outside but screams and howls of the clash of blades. Half the capital is in flames. Soldiers rush back and forth, shouting panicked orders. You haven't seen your marshal since the night before. Perhaps she's already dead. Your honor guard are in the streets outside the palace, building a barricade and organizing last-ditch defenses. Vital work, but you're vulnerable without them by your side. The royal court is empty except for you and your husband. I should be out there with a dagger in my hand. I could be making a difference. At least I'd be doing something. You wait and stew. Outside, the screams and clashes get louder. Finally, your spymaster arrives, out of breath, her face stained with smoke and blood. They'll be here any moment, Your Majesty. You must saddle your horse and escape the city. I know of a secret passage. Bye! You follow the spymaster down the hidden trapdoor behind your throne. Blorb accompanies you, muttering prayers. The capital is lost, but you can get it back. The patricians have agreed to shelter you while you plot revenge. After crawling down a secret tunnel for what feels like hours, you spill out in a leafy courtyard. 3 horses are waiting for you. As you saddle them up, you hear a wet thud behind you, followed by the sound of something rolling across the floor. Your spymaster is lying dead on the ground. Her head is missing. Baron Raku stands over the body, flanked by a dozen soldiers, their long swords stained red. Never liked her. Ideas above her station. I knew it was too good to be true. We can't escape our fates. Quiet. You have nothing to fear. I'm not here for you. Get it over with. As you wish. With a triumphant smirk, Baron Raku makes a sharp gesture. The marcher soldiers step forward, crossbows at the ready. Next time, Your Majesty, don't underestimate the barons. We keep this kingdom safe from empires and from tyrants. You're caught before you can make 10 steps. Instead of killing you, the soldiers seize you and drag you back towards the palace. The ordeal isn't over. Your husband is dragged off too, kicking and screaming. You never see him again. You can only hope Baron Raku kept their promise and no harm came to him. After a week rotting in your own dungeon, you're marched to the public platform, jeered at by thousands of peasants. You cringe under a barrage of rotten fruit and fresh dung. Baron Raku sits in the front row, grinning. The rebels have won. The capital has been taken. You are a former monarch. The executioner waits silently, holding an axe bigger than you. If you have any last words, now's the time. I think I'll just say ... You place your head on the block. The executioner lifts his massive axe. Wait, you suddenly thought of much better last words. You turn to the executioner to tell him, but the axe is already falling. Dunk. Your head bounces into Baron Raku's lap, and your reign comes to a gruesome end. Thank you. I tried my best. Maybe I'll get better next time. Having lost to the rebellious barons, Monarch Palm was dragged out of the palace and decapitated in the city square. The patricians joined the rebellion alongside the barons, but nobody considered them a true contender for the crown. The counts joined the rebellion at last minute, either finally fed up with the monarch, or perhaps desperate to be on the winning side. The barons launched a rebellion that toppled the monarch and devastated the kingdom. In the aftermath, nobody could stop them from taking the throne, and Julia was crowned to half-hearted cheers from the traumatized common folk. Yeah, I was hoping I would have lived too. But I never even got to have my fish baby.
Cough clears throat, so no head.
What a beautiful way to end this story. So no head.